Okay, sorry. Hello, Fredlings. I'm Clever Chicago. We are here for real people with real creativity in real time. Fredlings never give up, and I won't on you. And today we are back with another live stream of Just Streaming, and we are talking about new locations where the Bears Stadium could be built at. Hello, I'm Clever Chicago, and last time we spent a little bit of time working on this project, and I thought it was a very fun, very interesting, and a very unique idea from like a gamer slash streamer perspective. I'm sure there's probably other people that are doing this. To be honest, I actually haven't looked it up, but I haven't seen anybody do it. I've seen people using AI videos and AI apps, or they're just ranting on things and not knowing what's going on and giving their own opinions. So I'm going to give you my opinions, being from Chicago and working in Northwest Indiana, and giving you guys my best input on where a stadium could be based off of what I know, from what people that live in the area know, and stuff like that. But before we get to that point, let's give a quick recap of what happened on the last stream and what are we doing. So the Chicago Bears announced last week that they wanted to build a new stadium, and they were going to look into Northwest Indiana as a possibility. Everyone in Northwest Indiana has been coming up with ideas. Every town, every place has been coming up with ideas to try to incentivize the Bears to coming in. And what we are doing here on this stream, we're using Google Earth and we're using a project here. And we have designed a little outline of the Bears Stadium. It's rough. It's actually larger than the current one. And the reason why this outline is here like this is because we want to make sure that the stadium is it's going to be bigger. So we make an outline of the stadium. It's about 550 or sorry. Let me get my paper before I say something random here. It's 215 meters short, 500 meters long. That's roughly the exact same dimensions as this. If we are able to facilitate a 215 meters wide, and then the length, 500 meters, that's bigger than the current Soldier Field, we will have a successfully built stadium that how do you call it? I mean, they're trying to build a stadium and they want a bigger stadium. In short, that's what it is. So I'm gonna open up Discord real quick and I'm gonna tag people because I forgot to post it. You can join the Discord and all that stuff. Information is in the description down below. We'll go right there and let's continue and let's start. I'm going to save the one idea that I was originally looking at the beginning of the stream. This location here. We're going to save that for a little bit later. But we're going to, for now, we're just going to continue moving on. And we're going to pick another spot. So, unfortunately, we spent some time on stream the other day looking at a potential for a Hard Rock. Here we go. So the Hard Rock Casino. Now, from what I saw on the news, the Hard Rock Casino obviously was just built not that long ago. But they're building a massive convention center right here. So the convention center is going to obviously bring in a lot more people. And this is technically Gary, Indiana. They don't label it as that. They call it Hard Rock Northern Indiana. But I'm just curious. This is not going to work considering somebody has bought it out. But in theory, would it work is what I'm trying to get to. Would it work? So we're going to create a polygon. And we're going to say, obviously, this is the long way. Let's see how far that is 400 meters. So that is not long enough. So let's undo that. Let's go to right about there. 400. Whoa, I don't think this is going to fit. I don't think we can get this to fit. Hold on. Let's try this again. Let's try, because we're not trying to ruin any current infrastructure. So we're going to go from that tippy corner to here. That is a little too long. Okay, so there is room. There is room. That's good to know. We'll go like this. Probably go right about there. It's a little longer than needed, but this is just to test it. And then that should be roughly the correct size. It's a little longer, like I said. I think it needs to be a little bit shorter like this. But this isn't going to work, unfortunately. So we'll save this to the project. We're just going to give it a red outline. And we're going to color it red as well. I like it how it's actually hidden. Why would I want this hidden? I don't know. But hey, I guess it doesn't matter considering it, we can't see it anyways. So we're just gonna label this Gary 3 cans. I'm sorry, the Minecraft music is. This is what I always do all the time. Minecraft music's so low, then it's so high. Whoever put this mix together, Luigi. Well, Luigi's the only one that actually put all 2 hours of music together 10 years ago. So cannot be upset at him. No one else puts. They make you click on a video. I just play. I want the background instrumental. I am curious though. Why is this like so underground? But yeah, why is this so underground? What happens if I bring it to the top? Nothing. Literally nothing. All right, but this would have been a good spot. It is supposed to be a convention center. What are we going to go with like the wrap up of this area? You could have parking here. You could have made this parking here, bought out these houses, and call it a day. But unfortunately, you can't do that. So the next stop on our list is we are going to go. Let me get rid of this search. We're going to go a little bit farther down into Indiana. So I don't know if I want to go more south or if I want to go more technically east. Northwest India technically defines as like right about here where it stops. Some people in Northwest Indiana would call like this technically the last, but from what I've worked at, it usually Northwest Indiana ends before South Bend, I guess. But South Bend still is pretty decent, so maybe we'll keep that into play. We won't go any farther than that in any of these scenarios, but that's not all happening today. So another thing that we thought of, some potential locations were this national park. Now, I didn't honestly know this was a national park. Thought this was a private park, like a state park, but a national park. I don't think that's gonna happen. So let's see if we can go a little further. It's a small building. So I'm guessing this is all still Dunes Nature Preserve. Can't knock that down. I would like to have a beachfront property. When people say they're going to go to Long Beach, this is what they mean, right? Now, if you are going to build something, you don't want to displace wealthy people. Because in this scenario, of course, you... is this operational, this thing? I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I do see cars here. What is this? Like, what... I'm genuinely curious. What is this? Are these multiple, I don't know what this is. I don't think Google knew what it is either because They didn't go any farther than this spot. Is this a dump? Is this a dump? Like an actual dump? They would never stop making jokes about it if it was, if we built a football stadium right on top of a dump. Um, so, but with that being said, it looks like it's like a scrap yard, not like a dump like a garbage. So not a landfill. So I'm going to say we buy out these 3, 4 different companies. It probably helps that they're all in. I don't know if it does help. It probably doesn't help because if you have one person, at least one person can say no. But if one person says yes, you can get it going. We're gonna pretend like this we can, and clearly they have some beautiful boundaries here. So let's say we want to build a stadium, per se, in the as close as possible to the water. So we'll go here. I mean you got to remember this, Claude. You wouldn't want to build it like in the border of this area because these are the forest reserve, if I'm correct. So you're gonna kind of want to, because people are gonna walk around the side. They're gonna do this. You're gonna want to build additional buildings. So we're just gonna build this literally a little bit more off than I originally intended. That's 300 meters. I wish I could just grab it like this. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do. So it needs to be 500 meters long. Length. And I would like to add another dot, please. I am obviously clearly still learning these controls. Huh. No, no! Bruh. Roughly the size. Roughly the size. This is where the stadium goes, right? And then you build. I mean, it is pretty outlined quite well. So, oh my goodness me, I gotta remember to save the thing, bruh. Gotta go a little bit longer. Getting pretty good at making rectangles. Speaking of, if anybody knows how to copy and paste the original rectangle, I would love to do that. And like just move it around. We're going to call this, I think we're in Long Beach, or it could be Michigan City. We're going to call it Long Beach, though. It's the new name is Long Beach. Long Beach 1. I don't think there's going to be many in Long Beach, but we'll just call it Long Beach 1. Long Beach 1, coming on in. And then obviously, you got to buy out all this property. So we'll just make a nice solid line here. And we're going to go and call this, say, project. We're going to call this Long Beach Parking 1. And I think the parking color was gray and gray. Boom. Gray and white, technically, I guess. I think that's what we're going with. So, I mean, it really just, oh, it was really highlight. Just highlight the area here. I mean, it doesn't even really, oh, no, you could see it. There's definitely a difference. But, what I am thinking and visualizing in this location is one, it is relatively accessible to this interstate here. It's not perfect. Don't get me wrong. It is not perfect to the interstate. So we would need to make some moves. But you have the stadium here, have some shops and other things over here. It is big enough to add in a parking lot like this. And these buildings down here would definitely get a huge influx of traffic. But I'm curious on how they do that for um, places that have, stadiums next to them. Like, for example, like McCormick Place. I think they would be fine with them selling a parking spot. But I digress. But there is a train line here. And I genuinely might have done goofed. But I believe that this train line is the same one that goes through Gary, if I'm correct. Because I need it. I need it to be. I need it to be. I don't know if I'm correct or not. You. You. Well, it does go this way. I mean, just for the end of the sake, it does go this way. And if there was a game day and something going on, I'm sure there would be a compromise that they could improvise and put a train on there for game day stuff. I'm sure they would. It would not be ideal. Obviously, it's very far from Chicago. But if you had a perfect clear day, you could get your camera up in the air in your helicopter and get a nice shot of it. So that's what we're going to call that there. Now I'm thinking about this might not be the most ideal location. It's nice and close, but I mean, if that train line can't be added with a passenger train for game day use or extended a line, like I said, I thought it was. It could just from just looking at this doesn't look like it's that. So I mean, yeah, that's an industry line for sure. This top one is industry for sure. I think the bottom one's too. Okay, but regardless, if you can't put the train line there, because I done goofed and didn't think that so correctly, there is access to I-94. And I-94 has a bunch of little turnoffs, but I'm trying to look for the one with the biggest main road that could be utilized. There is the Michigan City Municipal Airport. Unlike the one in Gary, this is not an international airport, but I am sure for game day operations, it could be converted into bringing in those planes. Could be wrong. If they can't, then regardless, they could land a plane in Gary, Indiana, and just drive down, or they could land in over here in Chicago at O'Hare or Midway, whatever they decide to go as a team. But regardless, I want to keep that in mind too, going along as the airport situation. But we could take ID-94. There is a sort of this big access road here that people could. This doesn't go through, does it? There's a train line here too. I don't. This road is like a back road that would not be sufficient. You could upgrade it, I guess. If you upgraded the road, it could be fine. And then from there, this road is pretty big, which links up, I think, to this one right here, right? This big access road. So I guess you can get off there and go that way. And then I guess you could also alternatively come down this way and come through. I'm trying to see if there's like a nice road like this that gets back onto here, which I think that one does. All right, this is not ideal in terms of this isn't really ideal, I don't think, for anybody. It would be a cool spot, unless you get like you really have to really be banking on that train thing coming through, and the cars coming, they would be fine, I'm sure. If this is a huge parking lot area here, alternatively, you could buy out this company, but I don't think that's going anywhere based on its huge industry. I'm sure also along this area, if you had a government project that was coming through like the Bears, you could probably buy out all this stuff and these other little areas. What is this? I'm curious. What is this? These are apartments? Or these like cute little houses? What this the last time Google even decided to come in this area was 2007. Yeah, they're like condos or a little apartment houses, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure. Okay. Now let's go to the biggest one of the night, the one that I seen, and I was like, I genuinely forgot this existed. So there used to be a casino over here, and these satellite images. Is this what is this is? This is still a casino, right? Or is this a hospital? No, this is this is the casino. I don't know why there's a whole bunch of cars there, but I guess it's still operating. So in 2021, the Majestic Star Casino was permanently closed in April 21st. From 96 to April 21st. Glitch, thank you so much for coming out to the stream. How are you doing? Sorry I fell asleep the other day. And that's why I never came back. This is a nice spot for the Bears Stadium. I don't know if it has enough room to build I don't know. The mayor. I think they were supposed to go in the boat. I think that was the point of this casino. I don't know. I never run to it. It's not business. So, the mayor of Gary said this would have been like, is a nice ideal spot that showed the news station Fox 32 Chicago. I don't think it's going to work. So I don't know why he even suggested this. This is too small. It needs to be 500 by 215. So this is way too small. So why did he show this? I guess if you knock out the parking garage, maybe you could get it to fit. But you don't really want to knock out the parking garage because the parking garage is for parking. And those things aren't cheap to rebuild, but maybe that's what he's taking into account. So, and then this building right here is the East Chicago Water Filtration System. You can't take that out. That is probably covering all the water in this area, so you can't get rid of that. 300? Like, how much farther would I have to go? 500. So this is the length that it needs to be. And then I mean, that's a little bit shorter, I think, than what it is. But the stadium itself would need to be like this size. To see, why does no one call me up and give me a job? I need a job, bruh. But, regardless, like, why would the mayor of Gary, Indiana say that this is a good spot? We spent a whole 2-hour stream and we found 4 or 3 spots that were phenomenal locations. This ain't fitting. Ain't no way that's fitting. It's not fitting. So I don't know what the mayor was talking about. I genuinely don't know what he's talking about. We're going to do a little thing here, and we're still going to highlight it, and we're going to say, like, what is this? What is this? Like, these are the steel yard, right? Would the steel yard give up prime land for this project? I'm not. This is an electric station, NIPSCO. That cannot go. That being moved is not a possibility. There's a power line that's going through this, so you would have to move all the wires over. Is this? That's not even big enough either. That's 600. Doesn't even be that long. Oh, man. Is it deleting my other project from earlier? God, I hate this game sometimes. This is literally not even a game, Claude. Well, I'm actually kind of shook, to be honest with you. Why would they even suggest this? So, all right. Let's going to go... East Chicago, no. God, why do I keep clicking on that? We're going to go East Chicago, no. East Chicago 1, no. I already called the other one can't. So, there's no space, bruh. Alright, that's actually really disappointing. They literally got me hyped. That's literally the only reason why I got up here to do this short stream. Was because I got hyped. I'm like, dude, there's... People are doing... They're like, thinking like me. Useless unless you put more dirt in the water to make more ground. That's too expensive. Like, that's way too expensive. You gotta find us like just a nice spot. This looks perfect, but this looks like it's the car dealership, the factory. Like, there's a lot of people that are parking here. That's what I'm curious about. What are they? Unless they're working at this place here. But like, these are brand new cars because no one would park like that. All right. Ring, ring. You tell the owner of this huge parking lot, I want to buy all your cars. They say yes. This will probably be one of our first projects where we don't have to dislocate. Well, I guess the other one. It's a... Who parked all the cars in a literal border? You see this? Why are the cars all parked up like a... Like... Why? What? Do you... Like, they're all like... Brother. Where's the... I want to see the car that... Where does the line start at? Guessing the line starts there and it just goes around. Who was tasked to doing this? There's even more cars. They're just not even loaded in. Holy bling blong. That's a lot of cars. All right. Like, that is... Okay. All right. Is it long enough? It's 200... It needs to be 215. Damn. Why do I always get, like, it's always like, it looks big enough, but it ain't. All right. 215. Oh my god, it's 211. Is it 500? No, because I have to, remember that when I do the first line, it's not correct, so... That's 3. Oh, my hecky. All right, 600. Okay, well, that's a good start. Should be like right about there. 515. All right, that's good enough. give or take, give or take, which town are we calling this? We're calling this East Chicago as well. I'm gonna save this to the project, but we're gonna switch it back to the classic colors of yellow and white. I think is what the default is. Call this East Chicago 2. Done. That would be something that I would do with the parking of the cars. You get rid of a parking lot to build a stadium. What do you get out of this? Very importantly, is what you get out of this is you get access to the train line that is already pre-existing in the area that goes directly to Chicago. So no changes and no need. Right? You buy this whole place and you have access all the way up and down because of the train. Like I said, I do not know what these cars are doing here. They are connected via this walkway, and this looks like it's additional parking. I think you know what, now that I'm thinking about this, Glitched? Is this parking lot... Why would the Google map just stop here? Were they resetting their cameras? Oh, this is Majestic Star! Unless this is just an advertisement. Hold up, maybe this is the casino. Maybe the mayor wasn't, like, crazy. I mean, he's only rebuilding the entirety of the city. Not sponsored. Wish I was sponsored. I'd pay. If he paid me to say that, I would. But Klon, it's still political. Come on, bro. He's trying to get a damn football team over here, bro. All right. So I'm guessing that this is a part of the casino, and this was the casino's additional runoff parking. Obviously, like I said, the casino it ain't operational anymore. So with that being said, these cars look like they're the same brand new cars over here. I mean, they're more colorful, I guess. Is there a car factory? I'm really curious what this is. This is empty land, kind of. Huh. I'm looking this up. I gotta know what this is. Bluffington Harbor. Why is there so many cars in parking lots? The high volume of car in the harbor is likely due to the casino. Okay, well, that doesn't... $40 million warehouse distribution center coming to Gary's Bluffington Harbor. The city's sale of $40 million. This is a warehouse distribution center. Okay, $40 million is not the same as an NFL team. They would bounce these people out of here. They just got in here, though. They literally just got in here. So these people just got a contract in March of 2025. So, all right, they just lost their contract to the Claude from Chicago Foundation. I mean, this is pretty much... I'm surprised that the casino allocated this much for, like, runoff, to be honest with you. I don't know how big they thought it was. That's a lot of allocation to parking. Okay. Let's make the parking lot, shall we? Or do we need to clarify what the parking lot is, considering it's already here? Probably not, no, but I'm still gonna do it anyways, just for fun. Because this is like a nice chunky piece of land. And then I think this, it's snapping very weird. I think there's clearly a fence right there. So don't know what the heck is going up with that snapping. I gotta fix that little bug in a second. Boom. Then we're gonna save the project. Or we're gonna call it East Chicago 2 Parking. It is not East Chicago 2 Parking. 2. There is no parking 1, but we're just gonna pretend like there is. So I want to edit this, and I want to change the couleur to gray and white. I do want to fix this because I want to. Okay. Done. So if you built the stadium here, I bet you I bet the Google car was sketched out. Yeah, the Google car probably was sketched out. I mean, this is not really a highly traffic location, as you saw. That's too far of a walk for a casino. That's an impossible walk for a casino. I don't think that's even possible. I think you know what that was. It's because I mean it. From what we looked at, that one advertisement sign said it was a thing, and then what I looked up on Google real quick, the news station. Yeah, here we go. Majestic Casino caution. So this is, in fact, was a part of that runoff. Now you are saying, hey, that is too far of a walk. I concur. I think, though, what it is this, the train line runs through here. The electric train line runs through here. If I am correct. No, that runs down here. Wait, is it run here or run there? I don't know. It's one of these. It runs on one of these. It runs on this one or it runs on this one. I don't think it's this one because obviously they have this kind of train on here. So my guess is they got on the parking. They would walk because there is a walkway here, as you see, right? You would walk this way and you would come down. And I'm guessing somewhere along here there is a train house that you can get into or something. I don't know. We'll build one. We'll build one if it don't exist. But with that being said, we could utilize this and this for the game day. So you can come on down via the train line from Chicago into East Chicago / Gary. I think it's actually Gary according to what it was. But you can come down on the train. You can get off. You can go to the stadium, which is in yellow. And you get right back on. If you are deciding to drive a car, this would probably be the premium VIP parking. Where you're spending like $250 to park your damn car. I'm not sure what these little places are too. You could just knock these down if no one's living inside of them. But I think these would be more in terms of a facility, right? This is, offices, concession, like exterior things, a park, a football field. I don't know, like little things for kids. Overflow. Tailgating. Not tailgating in terms of trucks, but additional tailgating, like, once you're inside the area. So I'm guessing that's what we could do with that. I think that would be nice. Let's look at the access to the expressways. We got I-90 here, which is a very popular Chicago one, as well as 94. But not just only that, you got to 912, which is a highway. And that highway normally does not have a lot of traffic. Every time I've driven on this, it doesn't have a lot of traffic. And it obviously has the pre-built in ways to leave. It looks like they did plan on this casino area. Maybe there was a casino here too and they knocked it down or something. I don't know. But I doubt they would have done that for a transportation thing. So you would have to kick out the people that literally just got here and then come and move it. Glitch says BRB real quick. I'm actually going to end the stream pretty soon. So no worries if you can't come back. I mean, I was going to end it pretty soon. Um, so obviously this was not the idea. He was showing them this, but you could additionally this could be one plot, and I might move it over here. You know, additional parking is can be here, and you can get on the train and come down, or you can make the long walk, which I don't know how long that would take, but I mean, it wouldn't take all day. And if you built a bridge, you build a bridge over the train, and you built in like a pathway. What is this? Is this a pathway already that exists? It is a pathway that exists. I think it's for the service road for the train station, but regardless, maybe you can rent it out to them on the day of. I don't know. Or make some sort of contract or some sort. A lot of these things you figure out once you get the plot of land, then you can redevelop the pathways and stuff like that. But stadium here, additional parking on both sides, train line, access to two major expressways, and a route, very short route it looks like. And yeah, we're gonna look at another spot here in Gary as well. I still don't understand why this one is underground, but this is supposed to be the new convention center, so that won't work. And the second one we technically worked on today was in Long Beach. Long Beach, big spot. You got to buy out 3 companies, unfortunately, like a dumping ground companies. Um, eh, it really isn't good unless this train line does actually run that kind of train. I don't think it does. You don't really have major access to expressways except for 94 and I guess I-80 as well, but there's not really good through to get up from there. But I'm sure if you were a part of it you can. I guess you can come through here off of this road, and then you would have to redo structures with one of these roads to get people more over. And this is definitely not, this is probably my least favorite of all the places that I have picked so far. My favorite from the last live stream, I'm going to say it probably every live stream because I still think this is my favorite. Man, this place is so big and there's so much potential in downtown Gary. The residential, it's not downtown. I guess downtown would be up here, but it is up there. I don't say it is up there. But I just love this. Even if you built here, you would only dislocate 8 to 10 families if there's people living in that place. You could literally buy out, well, I mean, this is abandoned too. Buy this plot here for additional parking. This is already defined as parking on this here, but you could knock this out, get parking in here. You can knock, the church can get in on the fun with the parking on the day of. I mean, I guess it is on Sunday. Most games are played on Sunday, but you can sell parking like that. There's the bus lines that come down. There's the 2 major expressways. There's the train line that comes up here for the buses to come down. Still is my favorite. We'll go on a rant about that a little bit later at another time. This one here is probably like one of the most realistic, as long as this isn't a national preserve, and I don't think it is. It's just not. Like, it could be any of these slots. It's just not. I mean, it'll work. It's not the coolest. And then if you build some, like, downtown here, these are the closest ones we can get smacked at. This can't work. But, these would be downtown. Why do I feel like my original stadiums are not the correct size? Maybe these are not the correct size. Like, maybe, did I do these wrong? No, they're right. That's right. These ones, I mean, if you really want to keep that Chicago vibe, you can do it here. There would be some problems with some traffic, but I mean, this area isn't. I mean, it is super popular. I guess I don't know. This one's more realistic. This one's not as realistic, but this is the closest one I could literally build to the state line without disrupting everything. And then, like I said, I don't know if these steel mills are still open or not. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this series, and I hope you guys are liking all these cool little ideas and plans and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna do one or two more streams of this for the Bears. Maybe on a day that I actually have a little bit more time to prepare and etc. And with this being said, this was recorded on December 22nd, 2022. The last slide was our Patreons, so thank you, Patreons, as well as our merchandise holders, Glitched being one of them as well. But we'll go back to the stream real quick before we end it. I think that the Kansas City Chiefs have just negotiated their contract to move to Kansas in like 2030. So I think we should get on the hype train and figure out where they could possibly go. I don't know if they already have a location in mind, but I don't know this area at all, and I'm just curious if we can figure out a spot for them. But that will not be anytime soon. The Chicago Bears is the priority, especially with them being in the playoffs and them being very well. So, once again, thank you so much for coming out to the live stream and becoming another merchandise holder yet again. Glitch, thank you so much for your constant support, as well as everybody else's support for watching this stream live or post. If you have any other ideas on things that we can do, let me know and we'll get to them. I think another one was amusement parks for Disney World. I think there was another, like, yes, the Commanders as well as the Panthers. I think they were both on there. So thank you so much, Fredlings, for watching. I'm Claude from Chicago. We'll see you guys on another live stream or video. Here you come. Until then, remember, a real Fredling makes their own luck. Bye!